Hello friends, welcome to another video on JavaScript, and in this video I am going to cover one of the most important concept in JavaScript. Yes, that's JavaScript arrays. So the developers we used to use arrays on a daily to daily life, and so it is very important for us to understand the basics of how JavaScript arrays works. So let us start the video and go through each and everything. Let us first understand what is JavaScript arrays. So JavaScript arrays are fundamental data structure that are used to store a collection of values. So basically JavaScript arrays are used to store collection of values of any data type that JavaScript supports. So in this tutorial we are going to cover how to create an array, how to manipulate array, how to do concatenate array, like that. Okay. So the first thing that we work on arrays is creating an array. So there are several ways to create an array in JavaScript. So one of the easiest way to create an array is to use square brackets. So if you see here, in the first line I have used constant numbers equal to in brackets 1 2 3 4 5. So here you can see it is an array of numbers. So we have stored 5 numbers into this array. Okay. In the second example, we have another array, but this array contains strings. So the string values are red, green and blue. But in the third array we have a mix of multiple data types, like the first value is number, second is a string and third one is boolean. So this is how we can create an array. Now another way to create an array is to use the new operator and the array constructor. So basically we are going to use new array, and in the bracket we are going to pass the length of the array. Okay? So if I pass new array 10, it will create a empty array of 10 elements. Now we have created an array. Now we have to access those array. Okay, so we can access an array value at any index by using the index. So suppose we have a array 1 2 3 4 5 and we want to particularly access the first value, and the array index starts at 0. So if we pass numbers 0, it will give you the first value, that's 1, and if we pass the index 2, so it will be 0 1 2, the value will be 3. Okay. Next is like we can also modify array elements. Suppose we have an array with the value 1 2 3 4 5 and we want to access and modify one array. Like for example, we want to modify at the value index 2, so 0 1 2. So we want to change the value of 3 to 10. So what we will do, we will write numbers 2 equal to 10. So the numbers 2 at that particular location, the value should be 10. So it will replace 3 and the output will be 1 to 10 4 5. Now we need to modify arrays. To modify array we have different methods. So couple of methods which are very useful are push and pop, shift and unshift, slice and splice. So let's cover each of them. So push and pop are related. Push means adds one or more elements to the end of array. So you have an array, at the end you want to add something. For that you can use pushing into an array at the end. So let's suppose we have an array 1 2 3 4 5 and we want to push 6 at the last. So what we will do, we will use numbers dot push 6. So automatically it will be added at the last of the array. So the output will be 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now if we want to take out the last value of an array, we will use pop. So pop will pop up the value from the array. So here we have used const last number equal to numbers dot pop. So now the array is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and out of this array we are fetching the last number. Okay, so we will use pop method. So what it will give you, it will give 6 and it will store 6 into last number, and the array will become 1 2 3 4 5 because 6 is already taken out using the pop method. So I hope this push method is clear. Push and pop. Next one is shift and unshift. Same like push and pop, which happens at the end of the array. Shift and unshift happens at the start of the array. So in shift basically is used to remove the element from the start of array, and unshift will add one element at the start of the array. So let's see an example. So we have another example. We have the same 1 2 3 4 5 numbers array, and we want to shift. Okay, so if we use numbers dot shift, it will take out first value from the array. The first value of the array is 1, and it will take it out and it will put it in the first number variable. So the first number becomes 1 and the numbers array now becomes 2 3 4 5. And now if we want to unshift, means add one element into the array at the start of the array, we will use unshift. Shift unshift. So now we will after unshifting the value 0, the new array become 0 2 3 4 5. So I hope this is clear. Push and pop and shift and unshift. Now let's check out the slice method. Now the slice method returns a new array. So whenever you use slice method into a array, it will give you a new array. That is first thing. And this array will contains the portion of the original array. So let us see an example. We again have numbers array. 1 2 3 4 5 is the value, and now I will use sliced number and numbers dot slice. So here I am using slice method on the numbers array, and what I am passing here, we are passing two values here. The first one is the index and second is the ending index. So we have to start with 1. So 0, we will start with 0 1. So at 1 we have the value 2 in array, and we have to move till 3 but not including 3. So if we see the index 3, 0 1 2 3. So index 3, the value at index 3 is 4, but we will not include 4 here in slice. So we will include 2 and 3. Okay, so the output becomes, sliced number becomes 2 and 3. Okay, and the numbers array will become 1 2 3 4 5. Why? Because it doesn't change, slice doesn't change the original array. Okay, so this is clear. So let's move to another method called splice. Now in using a splice method, we can add or remove or replace elements of an array. So let's see one basic example. So we again have an array 1 2 3 4 5, and now here we are using a splice. So using a splice, we will pass the index number first. So the index is 2, so we will move to index first, 0 1 2. So the value at index 2 is 3. Now what we are saying a splice one item, one value from that particular index. So we will splice 3. So once we will splice 3, the value will become the array will become now 1 2 4 5, because 3 is spliced out, it's been taken out. Okay, again if we apply a splice method 1 2 AB, it means at the index 1 remove 2 elements. So at the index 1 we have the value 2. So from 2 remove 2 elements, 2 and 4. So we are left with 1 and 5. Now 1 and 5 we are left with, and then we have to add A and B. So A and B will be added at this position. So the value of final output will be 1 A B 5. So we are inserted after index 1, and 2 elements are deleted. So addition will be done first and then deletion will be done. So I hope splice is also clear. So next is combining arrays. So if we want to combine two array in one, we can use a method concat. So we have, suppose, two arrays, number 1 1 2 3 and number 2 having 4 5 6. So if we use combined numbers and we do number 1 dot concat, so number 2 array will be added to number 1 and the output becomes 1 2 3 4 5 6. These methods are very useful. Now one of the most used another method is called forEach method. Now using forEach method, you can iterate over arrays. So suppose you have an array 1 2 3, then if you want to do some operation with each and every element of the array, you can use forEach method. So using forEach method, we pass a function and that function will be executed for all the elements of the array. Now this function have three parameters. First one is number, the element, the array element. Second one is the index of the element, and third one is the array itself. So suppose we pass we call this forEach method in numbers. So see, numbers dot forEach function number index and array console.log number this. So what it will do, it will iterate over the array and it will print number 1, number 2, number 3, because the first parameter is the element itself. The second is index. So the array's index at first place is 0, then 1 and then 2. So see, index 0, index 1, index 2. And the third one is the array itself, and the array is 1 2 3. Next one is filtering array, another very important methods. So we use filter method to return a new array that contains that basically validates one condition. So just like a water filter where you pour water, dirty water, and you get only the clean water because of the filter. So filter is doing a condition that only the clean water should pass. So same way, suppose we have a number array with the value 1 2 3 4 5 and we want to get only the even numbers, then we can use here a filter method. In filter method, we are passing a function that will execute on each and every element again, and we are passing number. So every number is being checked, return number modulus operator to triple equal to 0, means if the number is divisible by 2, return only those. So out of 1 2 3 4 5 we have 2 and 4 divisible by 2, so we get the even numbers 2 and 4. So I hope filter is very clear to you, and it is one of the very important concepts in JavaScript arrays. Another very important one is mapping. So using mapping, we return a new array that contains the result of a calling function on each and every element. Suppose we have an array, we want to do some action on each and every element of the array. For example, we have an array 1 2 3 and we want to do a square of every element. So what we will do, we will use map method. So numbers dot map and pass the number and return number into number. So it will return 1 into 1, 2 into 2, 3 into 3. The output is 1 4 and 9. So if you see here, the mapping arrays and the forEach method, map method and forEach method, both do the same thing. It iterate over the array's element one by one, but the difference is forEach method does not return new array, but map returns a new array. Okay, so if you write const a equal to forEach, so after forEach completes, it will return undefined to the constant. But if you do map method into an array, it will return another array that can be stored in a variable. So the conclusion is JavaScript arrays are powerful data structures that allow you to store and manipulate collection of values. By using the method and techniques covered in this tutorial that I have shared you can take full advantage of the arrays in your JavaScript code. So if you like the video, do subscribe my channel and do share with your friends. Thank you very much.